Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be working in 4-4, page 148. And just a reminder, while you flip to that page, if you are not here for the next few days, or if I go too fast in this lesson, you can always rewatch these videos on my personal YouTube channel, well, through the school. It's at Snowy Schroeder, so go and check that out. You can watch this lesson. It'll be titled by the day, so it'll say Monday, October 21st lesson. Okay, so on page 148, we are starting today in 4-4, cash advances. Okay, so when we're looking at a credit card, there's two main transactions that happen with them. The first one is the one we've been talking about previously in this chapter, and those are just charges. So that happens every single time you either swipe your card at a store, use it online, use it over the phone. Anytime that the balance is going to go up, it's considered a charge. But then you can also do cash advances on a credit card. And you'll see really quickly why in this chapter, or in this section, why that's a bad idea. But you can just pull out straight cash money from your credit card. That, of course, raises the balance, and then those charges are treated a little bit differently. So you can get cash from your credit card three main ways. The first being an ATM, so you swipe it just like a debit card, and it will give you cash back. You need a PIN number for that, usually set up with your credit card company. Next is the cash back function. So that's when you go to Walmart, swipe your card, it says, would you like any cash back? You say, yes, I would, 40, 100. You can get as much as you want, and that makes your balance go up. Then last, sometimes they will provide checks. It just depends on the credit card company, but you can just write checks straight from your account, and it'll pull money out just like a regular check. Okay, so if we're looking on page 149, it gives us the formula, and you can read above there to read a little bit more about the terminology, but let's just jump straight into that formula. So let me erase this, pull out your red pens, and let's write this formula down and then dissect it a little bit. So it says periodic finance charge, what we are solving for, equals the balance, this will be given to you in the problem, times the periodic rate, okay, times the number of periods. Now in these problems, that will most likely be days, but it could also be per month, just depending on the problem. And then from there we get our total finance charges, and this is like our interest, this is the fees that they're going to charge us, so this is what you're going to have to pay back to the company. That equals the periodic finance charge that we calculated above, plus any extra fees. So remember that the credit card companies, their whole point is to get a lot of money from you. So making these charges high, making these fees high is how they make their money back. So if we're looking at the example, it says Benita borrowed $500. So that $500 is going to be our balance for 20 days. 20 days is going to be our number of periods on his credit card using a cash advance. His credit card company charged a fee, so there's our fee right there, of 4% on the cash advance and a daily periodic interest rate of 0.0573. So there we go. They gave us all of our information. Then below you can see the solution. So if we solve A together, A says Vera used her credit card at an ATM to borrow $200 on a cash advance. $200 is going to be our balance. Okay, now we need to find our periodic rate. Her credit card company charges a fee of $5. So in that one, it doesn't give us a percent. It just gives us the full amount. And a daily periodic interest rate of 0.0, well, it's going to be 0.000,487. If Vera paid it back in 25 days, Then what's the total finance charge on the cash advance? So we have to calculate this first. And then from there, we can figure out our total finance charge. So hold on. If we do 200 times 0.000487 times 25, that should give us $2.44. So we're going to bring that down. Our finance charges equals this number, $2.44, plus our fee, and in the problem it says it's $5. So the answer is $7.44. Okay, go ahead and do B on your own, and then we will compare our answer. So I'll give you just a minute to do that. I'll be solving it up here at the same time. Okay, so in B here, they do make us do one extra step. So when it says 3% of the cash advance, we take the 3% times the balance above. So the 150 came from above, and we get 755 as our answer. These should not be huge or high numbers, but they are still significant if you consider that you can pull out as much cash as you want. So if you're not careful, these fees and these balances could really get out of hand. Okay, so now go ahead and flip your pages to 150. Let's keep going. Okay, so if we're looking at page 150, we're going to start discussing the credit card balances and what happens when you have a cash advance. So like we mentioned before, there's two types of transactions. We have charges and we have cash advances. So our charges will usually have a lower APR, okay, and cash advances will have the higher APR, okay. Once you're making a payment though, payments are first going to go here, then come to here. So what will happen is if you don't pay your credit card off every single month, it's going to pay off these charges first, and you still have these cash advances happening, but the APR is higher. So credit card companies can really get you because you are not paying off those cash advances, and while it's not being paid off, every single day you're incurring a higher APR, and that interest can build and build and build and build. So to build into C and D, check for understanding, we really have to look at example 2 first. So example 2 says Jolinda's credit card has an APR of 14% for purchases, okay, and 21% for cash advances. Okay, they use an average daily balance method with a daily periodic rate for purchases. They use a daily periodic rate for cash advances and a cash advance fee, so we've got a fee built on as well, of 3%. Okay, in a 31-day billing cycle, Jolinda had an average daily balance method of $543.26. She took a cash advance of $200 during the billing cycle and must pay charges for 26 days. What are her total finance charges? So then they solve it out. Purchases looks like $6.47, cash advances of $2.99. Then they tack on another fee for $6. So then to get the total finance charges, we add those three numbers together, and she has to pay the charges of $15.46. Now that's not all she has to pay. She also has to pay for the $543 and the $200. So it's just an extra money that the credit card company is going to get for her borrowing their money. Okay, so using that information, it says Jolinda made a payment on her credit card. This is check for understanding C. But she did not pay off the balance. The next month, she had an average daily balance for purchases of $263.98. What are her total finance charges for 30-day billing cycle? Okay, so we have to use the information given above. So it says for purchases, she had $263.98, but she didn't pay off her whole credit card. So we're still going to have our cash advance of $200. Okay, so it looks like she paid around $300 and it hit those purchases first. She still got that cash advance just hanging out. So this is for a full 30 days. Let's calculate both of these finance charges. So we're going to have $263.98 times 14% times 31 over 365. Or we could do, and what the book wants us to do, we could do this first. So we're going to take 14% divided by 365. That will give us our periodic rate. Okay, and then we're going to multiply it times 30 days. Okay, so again, if you look at the example, they're taking that periodic rate and dividing it out, and they give us the answer. So it's 0.00384 times 30 days. Okay, so this is for purchases. Then we have cash advance, $200 times 21%. No, yeah, 21% divided by 365. And they give it to us above 0.000575 times 30 days. So if we calculate those out, 263.98 times 0.000384 times 30 days, get $3.04. 200 times 0.000575 times 30 days, $3.45. But we also have to do a cash advance fee of 200 times 0.03, because it's 3%. That will give us $6. Same answer as above in the example 2. So then we're going to add all of these together. 304 plus 345 plus 6 will give us 1249. Okay, that will be the total fee. So it is going down. Previously it was $15.46, but this fee is being tacked on every single month. So throughout the course of a year, it can really add up as some extra money that you have to pay just for simply using a credit card and not paying it off each month. So we're going to go ahead and skip check for understanding D. The way it is worded is not very helpful for the problems that you have to solve in this book. So we're going to solve together number 10 and 11, and then I'll give you your homework from there. So looking at 10, Yvonne used her credit card at an ATM for a $325 cash advance. Her card company charges a daily periodic interest rate of 0.06% and a cash advance fee of $19. Yvonne repaid it in 15 days. So 10, what is her total finance charge for the cash advance? So we're going to take the total. This goes back to our equation at the very beginning. So we're going to take 325 times our periodic rate of 0.006 times the number of days of 15. So that should give us the answer of, oh, I'm missing a 0 here. Times 15 days. We have a total fee of $293. Okay, and then 11 asks us how much do we have to pay back. So we have to pay back the $293 plus the $325 to be completely off the hook from the credit card company. So that brings us to $327.93. Okay, so overall these problems are not that hard. The problem is to figure out what numbers you need. So one trick for all of these problems, if it says APR, remember that this is annual. So if it's annual, you need to divide it by 365 to get the daily. Okay, so if it's a big number, like 19%, you need to divide by 365 to get that daily amount. Okay, but if it just gives you, like it did in problem 11, the daily periodic interest rate, then you can just jump right into the problems. Okay, you don't actually have to do any work on the number, but if it says APR, you do, because the number would just be way too big. If we took 21% and multiplied it by 150, like it says in problem 12, it would give us this huge number. And it's not ever going to be larger than, like, I don't know, 15 or 20. So just be on the lookout for that. Okay, so today you're going to be completing number 9 and then number 12 through 17. Okay, not a lot of problems, but be sure that you're doing them correctly. Compare with other people in the class. Look at the back of the book for your odd number problems, and then make sure that you have the answers right. If you finish with those, this is not required, but I would highly suggest that you solve problems 27 through 30. That would give you some extra practice before your quiz that will be on Thursday. Best of luck.